The effects of climate change on glaciers is rapidly occurring around the world in the cryosphere, which is places on Earth that are so cold that all water is in solid form. A glacier is a large mass of ice, snow, rock, and other sediments that grows and moves slowly over hundreds of years. As glaciers melt, it impacts the ocean, the weather, and life on Earth as we know it. Unfortunately, global warming is causing these glaciers to melt very quickly and will eventually cause major problems for the environment, the economy, people, and ecosystems. Keep in mind that these changes would normally occur over geologic time but are happening during the span of a human lifetime. The ice sheets of Greenland and Antarctica will contribute more to sea level rise in this century than any other source. By 2100, most large coastal cities in the world will face sea levels that will soon be a meter higher than they currently are. If nothing is done, 0.5 to 5% of the world's population will be flooded each year after 2100, and the global cost of damages could reach $50 trillion per year. Fortunately, glaciologists believe that geoengineering of glaciers could delay much of Greenland and Antarctica's grounded ice from reaching sea for centuries, buying time to address global warming. In 1910, Glacier National Park was home to about 150 glaciers, and over the past 100 years, that number has decreased to fewer than 30 glaciers that have shrunk by 2/3. It's predicted that in the next 30 years, most, if not all of these glaciers will disappear. What exactly is causing glaciers to melt? A new study recently showed us that ice sheets and glaciers melt as a result of climate change. Most people believe that climate change is a result of human activities, especially burning fossil fuels, which leads to the buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is released when fossil fuels are burned, which causes the atmosphere to trap heat radiating from space, causing the planet to warm. Sea level will continue to rise as long as global warming is happening. If the oceans are polluted, we will lose the life-sustaining things it provides, such as oxygen, food, and climate control. They are also important absorption centers for carbon dioxide and absorb some of the human-generated CO2. Glaciers capture and preserve everything that's in the atmosphere above them. This can include emissions and pollutants, which can contaminate the water and have an impact on marine life in oceans, streams and rivers, as well as fisheries that humans depend on for food. Also from the atmosphere, ice sheets absorb carbon gas that forms tiny bubbles that are released when the ice melts. It is estimated that the flow of carbon will double over the next 35 years as climate change accelerates, and about 33 billion pounds of carbon could be released by 2050.
How do you protect glaciers from global warming?
The only way to slow glacier melting is to slow global warming. As a society, there are tons of things we can do to start helping the environment and fight global warming. Carbon dioxide and other fossil fuels are the #1 enemy to the climate, and if each person can reduce the amount we use on a daily basis, we can make a difference. One of the most important things to do is start speaking up and informing people of the issues with climate change. Expressing concerns through social media and working to encourage politicians to be proactive and create laws that limit carbon emissions. We can power our homes with as much renewable energy as possible by using solar panels that trap the heat from the sun and use it as energy, or wind turbines that use kinetic energy from the wind to produce power. Shop for healthier foods and eat at home. It takes about 10% of energy to grow, process, package, and ship foods. Livestock products are one of the most resource-intensive to produce, so eating meat-free can make a huge difference. When shopping for home appliances, search for eco-friendly products which have kept about 2.3 billion tons of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Using LED light bulbs will save up to 80% of energy usage and are cheaper.
1, 2, 3. If you're not conserving water, you oughta. Hey, that's right. If you're not conserving water, you oughta. Here we go.
It's difficult to explain how much and how fast the ice is changing. These changes can be understood as a warning system for the rest of the planet. Earth scientists and climatologists have concluded that climate change is real, that modern climate change is largely part human-driven, that is it accelerating, and that it will have to be addressed. Unfortunately, governments tend to ignore this fact and do not wish to be proactive, and we often tend not to address an issue until it is a crisis.